All right, let's go, let's go, let's go. How are we doing? Boy, yesterday was quite the day for me. I did took a nap in the afternoon and then we didn't have a whole lot of energy, so we went to bed early and slept so long that I when I woke up, I forgot what day it was. It was 6:48. And I said, "What day is it?" Donna says, "Thursday." So I got a game that starts in 10 minutes. How did I sleep all day? I was completely out of it because she at least knew it was Thursday morning. I just was completely out of it when I woke up this morning. I thought I woke up at 10 to 7 at night. And I'm like, why didn't Kyle wake me up? And finally Donna was like, if it was 6:48 at night, babe, it would be pitch black. Oh yeah. I had to check my phone to make sure it was Thursday morning. Don't get old, people. Don't get old. Hey, Spaceman, you're Pantherland right now? Lines are packed. Is that for the Winter Classic jersey? Hey, David. Divine's getting his first start tonight. Yep. Cunning with Gregor and Divine. I mean, it is what it is, right? We'll see how it works out. Hungry says, make sure the jersey numbers are correct. Already seen a couple of posts of jerseys with the wrong numbers on from Fanatics. Holy hell. Good Lord. Fossey, yeah, Cunning, Gregor, Divine, bottom line. I'm nervous but excited, but we can't catch a break with injuries and all the bad teams keep winning. Also, if we get 2 points tonight, we could wake up in third place. So there's that. Because the Canadians keep losing. Hey, David. Yeah, naps are great. Yeah, Craig, it was a hard sleep, man. So I slept from 4 to 6. Then I got up and I kind of in my chair. I lay out at about 8 o'clock, and Donna was already in bed. So I came to bed like 8:15. And yeah, I mean, I don't remember nothing. And when I woke up, like I said, I'm like, what? I woke up. What day is it? What day? I was crazy. Yeah, good times. Hey, Dana. David says, welcome to middle old age. I have to set my alarm where I nap now. Well, yeah. Yeah, sure. That happened. That happened a couple weeks ago where it was the late game. It was one of the late games. It was 10 o'clock. And I fell asleep in my chair at 5. And I figured, no, I'm just taking a pregame nap. I'll be up by 6:37. And like 9:20 is when I woke up. And I was in a panic. It's like, oh my God, I got a game in a half hour. That was the night I didn't do the members stream or anything. Braves fan, I just told my buddy last night that me and him were going to have to lace up and play for the Cats in April at this rate. Ain't that the truth? Hungry says, Connor reminds me of that time I took a 25-hour nap. I was very confused when I woke up. I bet. Yeah, that'd do it. Go to bed at 6 in the afternoon and wake up at 7 the next day in the afternoon. That's wild. Dana says, I want to get a shirt that looks like the jersey, but they're not making any of those. Ah, dang. Tommy says, so New Jersey game is a loss, right? You always have trouble with New Jersey, even when the roster is not injured. We've got to get some wins. We've got to get some wins. You know, I was looking at the standings, and I mean, the Wings are at top of 25, Bruins 24, Canadians 23, and we're just sitting there at 21. Like, what are the games tonight? I mean, we could wake up in third place. So the Jackets play the Leafs, the Islanders play the Wings, Capitals against the Canadians, Blues, Flyers, Devils, Panthers, Oilers, Lightning, Kraken, Blackhawks, Knights, Mammoth, Rangers, Avalanche, Kings, Sharks. That'd be a good game. Stars, Canucks, and Senators, Ducks. What's that? 14 games? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 12. 12 games. So it would take some work, but with the right amount, with the right results, if the Capitals beat the Canadians and the Jackets beat the Leafs and the Oilers beat the Lightning, if we win our game, Ducks have to beat the Senators. A lot of things have to happen, but we could wake up in third place tomorrow. We'll put it that way. David says we're almost 1/3 of the way through the season. Half our guys are out. Can't even barbecue, but we're still right there. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up, David. We can't even have a friggin' barbecue. Yeah, Miss Jaws is wearing the Marshy shirt on the other stream. David says, who the F hurts themselves at a barbecue so bad they're week to week? I mean, and they said it was lower body, too. I believe they said lower body. I could be wrong there. But I guess well, what's interesting is, did we hear it was a burn from a barbecue, or he just got injured at a barbecue and we're just assuming it's a burn? Like, was it a pool party barbecue and he slipped? And I had that happen at one of my pool parties. We had a pool growing up in Miami, and every year my birthday is in August, so we would have a pool party. And one kid slipped on the deck and went into the pool, and he scraped his calf up to the point where he had to go. His mom had to come take him to the hospital and get stitches. His leg got ripped, gashed open. So have we heard it's a burn, or are we just assuming that because it was at a barbecue? And it says, you're giving out wins. You could use some. Hey, Bill. Gord Gloster says, hey, Jaws and Donna, made sure to hit Fanatics for the cheaper price versus the Florida team shop by $60. You got the Barkov Winter Classic. Nice. Playoff hopes are sizzling away. Comment says, do you think NHL players' safety department will give supplemental discipline to teams' dinners since they keep injuring players? Oh, man. Hungry says, I saw a picture that I think was supposed to be loose, though. He looked like he stepped on something very hot and has blisters in the bottom of his foot. Oh, man, how do you, like, okay, so maybe part of the grill caught on fire. Somebody panics and takes it and throws it on the ground, and he steps on it to put the fire out or something. Braves fan says he will return after he can be comfortable in his gear. So I assume burn. Yeah, that sounds about right. Pomo said burn. Okay. Dana. Bill says it's week to week because that's the first grill burn accident and they don't know anything about the recovery. Oh, I mean, it's what a year. Jameson says in about 15 years, when E2 is retired, we'll probably hear the full story from him on the Wingman podcast. Yeah, I mean, don't even get me started. I saw one short. I guess the new one came out yesterday. The first thing on my YouTube timeline this morning was a short of Brady and Matthew Tkachuk talking about how they wipe themselves after they go to the bathroom. I'm not making that up, by the way. That's honestly the first thing that YouTube served me up this morning was the short of the Tkachuk brothers explaining in detail how they wipe themselves. I'm not making that up. I know there's at least two of you that are going to think Jaws has lost his mind. I'm telling you, that's the first thing I saw this morning. Cuban says Barkov back before Christmas. Hey, Tommy. Yeah, it ain't going to be an easy game today, that's for sure. Maybe it was one of those in-the-ground cooking things. Oh, that's a good point, Braves. Yeah. Fire is your friend. You've never seen Young Frankenstein? Watch that as soon as the stream ends. Yeah, I've seen it. That's one of Kyle's favorites too. Yeah, people are saying that their podcast is boring. I mean, I don't know. Colin says Kachuk has reportedly started skating. Yeah. And Bob's in net tonight. That makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, that would be about right. If Kachuk is skating, then you're probably looking at a month off, a month away, I would assume. Panthers Silva says Panthers put a sign outside the arena saying, "Can you play hockey? Give us your number." I can skate. It's been a while. I haven't ice skated since I was in Air Force. Yeah, the last time I ice skated was when I was in Alaska. I was 34 years ago. Closer to 35 years ago. I could skate is what I should say. I know I can still roller skate. When I picked up my quads a few years ago, I was skating just like I always would. Can I skate backwards? That's going to be a problem, David. That's going to be a problem. But the good news is I'm so short, turning around to just skate forwards in replacement of skating backwards is easier on me. Plus, I can trip them at the hip level and not get called for tripping. Frosty says we need to even out the starts better. It's been a little bit different, hasn't it? We've been bad in the first and better in the second a little bit. SoFlo says they were stocking the stores yesterday for the 10 a.m. drop today. The jerseys are awful, but there's a ton of other merch that looked amazing. The jackets in particular are fire. Nice. Yeah, I'm sure using that design, they could come up with something. What I want to see is I want to see people walking around in those pants. Forget the jersey. I want to see women's yoga pants in that design with those stripes. Can I take a hit from Rempe? Oh, he could never reach me. He'd fall over, bending himself in half to get down there, Kenneth. He can't reach me. I just duck. I just skate under him. Like I just go right between his legs, just right under him. I only got to crouch down a little bit. It's no problem. He'd hurt himself getting down there. It's Bob versus Jake Allen tonight. Damn it. We usually don't do so good against Jake Allen. We'll have to see how that goes. Hey, look, if we want to play 8-5 games the rest of the season, I'm fine with that. It makes the streams more entertaining. Hungry says, I ran the jersey through our AI overlords and asked it to add some Art Deco styling to the jersey. What it gave me looks amazing. So, yeah, I mean, he let in 9 against us 2 years ago. Was that Jake Allen? Who am I thinking of? Maybe it's we always do good against them instead of we always do bad. They all run together. 3 years ago. Yeah, the Bruins lost and McAvoy is out indefinitely with the jaw. Man. Oh, when he was with the Habs. Okay. You can win and bulk up. Yeah, I don't know if I would gain any weight. I can't afford to lose any weight. If I started skating, I'd lose some more weight. David says the NHL disagreed with no extra punishment for Rantanen's boarding. Ooh, that's interesting. I mean, I saw it. It was weird. The way that whole sequence of events took place. It's almost, it was, I know it was a bad hit, but it's just the way that is like his body like kind of froze and then like slid into the boards. And Waugh has a right to be pissed. Yeah, it was, he got hit before the hit. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, David. It was like, it looked like they were two separate. Like he was in motion, he stopped, and then he was in motion again. Real says, Joss, what do you say to a fourth line of you, me, and Kyle? You weigh about $130. Well, Kyle will protect us both. Kyle's about 6'1", 215-ish now. He's a little heavier than he'd like to be right now. He'd prefer to be at about 200. But who we need on our line is Matthias. Matthias is about 6 foot, probably 2.25. He's absolute. He's like me when I was younger, only tall. Because when I was in the military and I was in the bodybuilding contest, I was 206 pounds. I'm only 5'6". Matthias has got the same body structure, but he's 6 foot. Kyle and I played basketball against him one time. Holy hell, that kid's got a ridiculous motor. Like I never seen anything like it. Like in terms of like motor, he could have probably played semi-pro or pro, because I mean, I just never seen anybody be that energetically tenacious to go after the ball, and he was scaring me. Even Kyle, I mean, like I said, Kyle's 6'1", 210, and Kyle was like, I'm getting the hell out of the way of this kid because he was a beast. SoFlo says, do I think we'll ever get Brady? Maybe. I mean, I think we looked at this a couple, like last year. What's his contract? Because we were kind of thinking about, like, what year would it be that he would say, okay, I'm not winning in Ottawa and I want to go play with my brother. So, come on. Boy, our internet has been slow today. So he's only in year 5 of 7. So this is 5, this is 6. So that's this year and next year. So the question at that point would be, the year he enters his free agency, he's only going to be 28. So he's certainly primed for another big payday. And he's already making 8.25. So would he be in a position to want to give up on winning in Ottawa at that point? Or would the Panthers have regressed enough at that point to where he feels, aha, now's my chance to stay in Ottawa and win? I think a lot of it has to do just how the team is doing. Bill says, could Chucky go into Ottawa? I doubt that'll happen. Real says, Brady said he doesn't love the cold in the podcast yesterday. Well, sure. I mean, yeah, right? Well, he's seen his brother go from Calgary to Florida. His brother's out there, hoisting the Stanley Cup in flip-flops, and that's attractive. David says, I'll play in goal. When you're fat as me, it'll be very difficult to get a puck around me. I'll use the walrus method. Colin, yeah, that's what Dana was saying up above, is they didn't make T-shirts, which kind of, you would think that for it being in Florida, you would think that they would, hey, people are going to want to have T-shirts. It's Florida, Tommy says that I realize, both Kachucks and Matthews and McAvoy are all American. You think it's a conspiracy to take us out of the Olympics? It's bad. It's bad, man. Without both Kachucks and without Matthews, I mean, it's a good point. Yeah, plus the Hughes brothers. That's right. Yeah. So it says, gonna buy the Winter Classic jersey for myself for Christmas. Right now I have a Lundell, Sam Miskevich for Higgy, and Reinhard Forsling. Silva Forsling. Yeah. Of course, that's for me, that's the easy answer. You don't have a defenseman. You got 4 forwards. Hey, don't listen to Mrs. Jaws. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Don't listen to her. Forsling. Oh my God, Bill says Brady to Tampa for total war. Holy hell. David says, so I love Fort Lauderdale. Probably won't ever leave because I was focused on raising a bunch of kids. I might prefer to farm outside Ottawa. I'm not moving. But I will tell you, as soon as it gets cold here every year, I question the reasons why I don't go back to Florida. At some point, you know, my parents have a home in Melbourne and they're not going to live forever. But my mom could easily live another 20, 25 years. But at some point in like my old decrepit age, I suspect that I might take that house when my mom passes. I might be willing to take that house because it's the true thing. As you get older, the joints, the aches and pains, you want to be in the warmth as much as possible. It's a true story, and they have a pool, so. But we're talking 25 years away, I would assume. How my mom is only 70. I think she might be 71, but the women in her family, easy mid-90s and into their hundreds. Like her aunt just died last year. I think she was 102, 103, and that's like kind of normal for their family. Real says, I'm fairly tall, like 6 feet. I just can't put on a lot of weight, even with lifting and eating a lot. It's a blessing in some ways, believe me. Yeah, Real says Steph Jones might end up making the USA roster with McAvoy out. Good point. Oh, you had four. Oh, well, if you already have Forsling, then there you go. There you go. Vincent says, so here's what happened today. I opened Panthers Twitter. There's a picture of Devine, but for a split second, I thought it was Brewer. Just my experience. Don't kill the messenger. There's Kevin's channel. That's interesting. Well, you can just tell Bobrovsky is being a sad sack about not getting to play in the Olympics after 2 Vezinas and 2 Cups. Is he? He is? If you look at last year's numbers and this year's numbers at the same time, they're almost identical for how Bobrovsky was playing at the beginning of last year. Yeah, David, true story. Winter sucks. Hungry says, saw something funny today. Oilers are currently ranked 32 in goals against, 5x5 goals against, and save percentage. They're damn. But we've seen them be bad before, right? You know, we've seen them be bad. The first year we beat them in the Cup, they started like 1-10 or something, right? Kevin, that's a good possibility that he extended, waiting for the cap to go up. He might have looked at the teams that could have afforded him and said, nah. But I just wonder it depends on where he wants to go. Like, he could have come to Florida for the 12 or 13 million. We could have made that happen. Not this year, but next year. If he was going to take that amount of money, we could have made it happen. So I suspect that you might be accurate there. He probably wants the big money. Boy, that's a he's really betting on himself. You know, 2 years is a long time in the world of sports and everything. And he's 28 now. And I know he wanted to win in Edmonton, but you know, that next contract, he's already going to be 30 years old. And just by definition, most likely his best years will already have been behind him. It was a surprising move. You know what I mean? And when you really look at his goal production, like, it has consistently gone down. It was 64, then 32. Last year was 26. Now, he did miss some games in there, right? This year, he's on pace for about the same amount of goals that he was having last year. But, I think the days of him getting 45, 65 goals, I'm not so sure that he made the right bet, Vince says McDavid doesn't look like a smart guy. He could be in Florida this spring, but he chose to stretch that cat's tail and sign there anyway. What did he expect? And that's the thing, is that I could understand him wanting to do that if Edmonton then went out and got a goalie. But yeah, someone like Marchand is extremely rare. Yeah, no doubt. Colin says, I think Knight could be the third goalie option for Team USA if he continues to play this well, for sure. David says, notice McKinnon and McCofer rising to the top again in points and goals. I thought McDavid's only got, well, let's see where we're at. Let's see where we're at right now. So, goals. Foligno is at 9. Is this? No, that's games played. No, come on, Foligno. What are you talking about? Give me goals. Thank you. So McKinnon, Draisaitl, Geeky with 14. One of those names doesn't belong. McKinnon, Draisaitl, Geeky, and Marchand. Then Marchand with Horvat, Nietzsche, Caulfield, Bedard, Celebrini at 13. Crosby, Larkin, Sherwood at 12. And then it goes down from there to the usual suspects. Don't see anything surprising. Kucha's got 9. Reinhardt's got 10. There's McDavid at 10. Where they got him at 37th, but he at 9. So he's only got 9. So yeah, McKinnon's up there, but when you get to points, where are we with points? Points is still McKinnon, and then McDavid's at 32 with points because of the 23 assists. But I'll take McKinnon all day. McKinnon's got 33 points, and he's a plus 19. McDavid has got 32 points in 22 games, and he's managed to be a minus 5. You know how bad your defense has to be? Even Celebrini with 30 points is a plus 4, and Bedard at 29 points is a plus 10. What the hell's going on over there in Edmonton? Jeez. Vince says doesn't belong. Remember when we gave Taylor Hall a Hart Trophy? That's when you say that. I mean, maybe. Hawkhouse says people keep saying Marchand is only productive because the refs can't make calls against him. He took some guy's stick last game, and fans are mad he didn't get a game misconduct. Leaf fans calling it the Department of Panther Safety. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad they didn't give him a penalty. I mean, he's playing around. It's after the whistle. If it's after the whistle, stuff like that, you're not going to discourage somebody like Marchand. Dude's one of the faces in the league, We don't want the attitude of Leaf fans about stuff like that is why the NFL turned into the no fun league. Business Marshy loves sticks. He's a collector and he's funny. And he did give the stick back too. Yeah. Like it's that kind of attitude is why the football turned into the no fun league. Where the dude just got to do a little bit of, what is this? You're not allowed to wipe your nose now or something? There's some gesture where you wipe your nose and now it's a 15-minute unsportsmanlike conduct. Because I think they didn't want people doing the throat slash thing. So then I guess guys were wiping their nose instead, and now that's a penalty. I mean, the absurdness of the NFL, may it never take over hockey, because once it does, all the fun is done, man. Yeah, and Leaf fans were mad when that Marchand didn't badmouth the Panthers when he got hit. Well, yeah, I mean, Marchand's attitude was like, I kind of do the same thing. Like, he got me. You know what I mean? Part of the reason why he wanted to come here, you know? Yeah, he's the first ballot. There was an argument on Twitter about that yesterday, David, where one of the NHL writers was talking about Marchand not quite there yet with the Hall of Fame. He's got 1,000 points, but he's not quite there yet. And of course, you can imagine, you know, the reaction was like, "Are you dumb? Are you stupid?" But the dude was serious. Hungy says, I have to reiterate that George Peros is somehow the most loyal former Panther ever, according to Leaf fans. It's hysterical. The dude, how many games did he play with us? I mean, this is the thing. How many games did George Peros play with us? Like, to say he had 2 cups of coffee might be an exaggeration. He played 39 games for us in 12 and 13. You know what I mean? He played 39 games. That's it. I mean, and that wasn't even the last team he played for. The following year, he played 22 for the Canadiens. So he played for the Kings, the Avs, and then he played 5 seasons with the Ducks, and then the 1 year with us and the 1 year with Montreal, and then that was that. Vincent says, follow the Leafs already rotting in November. That's old news. Hungry, 33. Yeah, exactly. Not necessary says, our guys can't even barbecue without even getting hurt. I'm surprised nobody has carpal tunnel from flipping the burgers. Don't let Ekblad flip the burgers. She'll get carpal tunnel. Stuart Skinner got embarrassed again. Hey. Tommy James says, Craig Berube has a negative injury update on Stolarz, worse than we thought. Which injury was? That's not good. Poor freaking Stolarz, man. "305 says, how the hell do you get hurt on the barbecue? Only us." It's true. It's true. Now, I know, I'm trying to think, because my dad he barbecues all the time. Like, he barbecues, I would say, an easy 4 nights a week, because that's where they do a lot of their cooking. They live in Florida. It's cheaper. It doesn't heat up the house, and he loves it. He sits out there on the deck, the patio next to the pool with the dog, and he barbecues. And he's been doing that for at least the last 20 years, 4 or 5 nights a week. And I don't think I think there was one time I might remember him doing something where he was cleaning the barbecue, because he'll clean it right after he cooks, like even before he eats. I think one time he was like cleaning it, and then he took a phone call and forgot what he was doing, and he grabbed the grate, and because he thought he'd already cleaned it, but it hadn't cooled off yet, and he burnt his fingers. But you're talking about once out of maybe 1,000 barbecue times. Craig says maybe he got drunk, passed out, and got a wicked sunburn. Soflo says apparently the burns were pretty bad. I mean, the only thing I can think of is if something caught on fire and he stomped it out with his foot, right? Or the dude was cleaning the grill, put the grate down, and then E2 stepped on it without knowing it. But he had to be barefoot too, right? Hey, MJ, how you doing, buddy? How you doing, MJ? Good to see you, bud. Let's see. What's he got? He says, happy Thursday, Jaws. Thanksgiving's next week. Are we streaming? Side note, I saw a replay of you watching the channel's early years and I laughed hysterically. Brilliant. Headlines coming up. Thank you, MJ. So in terms of, are we streaming on Thursday, which is Thanksgiving? It's a good question. I don't know. I don't know. If there is any streaming on Thursday on Thanksgiving, it will be Donna and I, because Kyle is going to his mom's for Thanksgiving on Thursday. We had an option of doing it Tuesday or Thursday, but then Matthias is going to spend a couple of nights. He's going to spend a couple of nights afterwards. So I just figured, well, if they go to mom's on Thanksgiving and she does all the cooking and all of that, and then Donna and I have Thanksgiving to ourselves, and then we don't have to make a whole big production of cooking all this stuff because they won't be here until Friday night, then that makes it easier for us. Tommy Jones says, have Kyle take a camera and live stream his mom's. Yeah, you haven't met his mom. Let's just say that wouldn't go over so well, Tommy, and we'll just leave it at that. Yeah, we'll just that's what I'm gonna say. So, Colin, thank you for reminding me. MJ. Yeah, no. So if we do anything, if we do any kind of streaming on Thursday, it'll be Donna and I. We just haven't talked about it, so I don't want to say anything here. We don't know. Hey, thank you, Aaron. Appreciate that, bud. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for the $5. What was that? David says you're working on Thanksgiving, so yeah, it would be a football stream. Let me see. So 305 says, from now till you pass away, will anything Panthers related give you more anxiety than the third period of Game 7 against Edmonton? Here's the thing, 305. So this is going to be kind of depressing, but Game 7, I never once considered the possibility that we were going to lose that game, because I knew we had known for about 2 weeks at that point that Fluffy was dying. And I knew that there was just no way in hell that we were going to lose the cup and the dog was going to die. I knew there was no way that both of those things were going to happen. And I knew the dog was dying. So I was nervous. But I never allowed for the possibility that they wouldn't win that game. Where I really got anxiety was last year, Game 3 against the Leafs, when we were down 2-0 in the series and down 3-1 in that game. That's the first time when I kind of like exhaled a little bit and thought, well, it was nice while it lasted. So yeah, I didn't experience the first cup run the same way as a lot of other people because of what I was dealing with Fluffy. But hopefully, but now it's like with all these injuries. I was actually thinking about this earlier today, 305, that like with all the injuries that we've been through, like you could kind of collectively feel the whole fan base right now. It's kind of like, well, shit, you know what? This might not be our year. You know what I mean? Like we've kind of, when you get guys like Luosterainen going to be out for a week or two because of a barbecue, you kind of realize maybe it might not be our year. You know what I mean? So that's a good question, though. It's a good question. Scrolling back down to see what we met. David is always at work and visits home sometimes. That's about right, Miss Jaws. Yeah, that too, Tommy. Yeah. All right, MJ. Yeah, same here, 305. Yeah. Leia's a good kid, though. She's a good kid. I got to work on getting her to bark on command. Am I still, Savasi wants to know if I'm still confident we make the playoffs. Ask me at the end of this homestand. At the end of this homestand, if we're not in a playoff spot, I might be a little bit concerned. We've got 11 of 12 games at home. And I know the injury thing is it's tough, man. I mean, god dang, we got no Luosterainen too. I'm just thinking about it like as I'm saying it. Let's put it this way. I have all the confidence in the world that we're going to make the playoffs, but if they missed, I think I would kind of be like, yeah, that makes sense. I wouldn't be shocked. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's more of a chance that we get healthy and make the playoffs and win the third cup than there is of us missing, but maybe I'm delusional too, you know? Dave says, for the record, I never lost any hope down 3-1, and I'm still not losing hope this season. It's supposed to be tough. Does Leia swim? No, we're working on getting her comfortable around the water. I think she probably could swim. But right now, a couple of times I brought her to the water. If I walk in, she'll like get in her tiptoes and stuff. But I'm going to try again next summer. This year, she had just kind of met me. She was still going back to Donna's old place. There was a lot of stress for her. And then by the time we tried again, it got too cold. So I think once it warms up, I'm going to try to get her in the water again and just see how she does. My older dog, Sonia, the lab, she was a little skittish around the water as well. But Fluffy and Ellie would just get in and do whatever. And so at that point, the lab said, oh, okay, this is safe. Vincent says they just wanted some rest. Every player creates their own accident. Just be back in time. It's a good point, Vincent. Yeah. Lewis, what's my opinion on the Winter Classic jersey? We talked about that a lot yesterday. I don't care for the logo. I understand what they were going for. I don't like how they did it. I think I have the same opinion as most people that don't like the logo, is that the Panther looks emaciated. It just looks emaciated, the all the wrinkles and everything like that. I don't mind the colors and the striping. It doesn't pop out at me as anything exciting, but the logo kind of, not so much. Craig says, not me. I totally expect the Cats to get healthy at the perfect time and competitively compete for the three-peat in a Hollywood movie style. I mean, it could happen. It totally could happen. Vincent says, no, this year is different. It's going to be this close into the last game. I mean, it's still the whole conference is still right there, you know? Real says, if they miss, I can live with it as long as Tampa and Toronto do too. This core can win another, but they may need to heal up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've seen Tommy, we've had saltwater. I grew up in Florida. The saltwater crocodiles were always down there in the Keys. It's just now they've started wandering. You know, you can only destroy an animal's habitat so much until they start looking for a new habitat. You know? So now they've just started wandering up. I don't know how far south they are, but no, we had I remember seeing. My parents used to take me to Crandon Zoo, over off the Rickenbacker Causeway, and Key Biscayne, and yeah, I remember seeing saltwater crocs out there. So I think we got another super here. Hey, MJ, thank you, buddy. Thank you, MJ. Thank you, brother. All right, let's see what we got. This can't be good because it's sports headlines. Keep Luosterainen away from barbecues. Chris Boyd in stable condition after being shot. That's right. Adam Lowry signs 5-year extension with the Jets. Alex Wright, 3-year extension with the Browns. And Joe Mixon is out for the year. Damn. Jeez. It's that time of year where there's no playoffs or nothing like that. So mostly this is the time of year where almost all of the news is injury related. because you're in the middle of hockey and football season and they're brutal sports. Thank you, MJ. Appreciate you, bud. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, we got to keep loose to running. Like somebody said above, we need the true story. We need the true story on the Kachuk Brothers podcast there. Thank you, MJ. Yeah, no more barbecues, man, right? Tom says it's looking grim for us. Lots of back-to-backs in December. If Devils win tonight, they'll be second place team in the league. No, we definitely need to take advantage of this homestand. There's no doubt. Yeah, Chris Boyd is the Jets corner who got shot on Sunday. It's crazy, man. Oh, that's right. Shedeur Sanders getting his first start. The Browns plan on retiring his number at halftime. Not necessary. That's the perfect comment. That jersey is the perfect ugly Christmas sweater. I couldn't have described it more. That's exactly it. That is exactly now what I was thinking about it. Those are the words that I could not freaking find. Perfect. You could just see it. You could just see your grandmother giving you one of those itchy tweed sweaters, and it would have that Panther on the front of it. You could feel it. It's itching my skin now. So perfect. Real says, I don't want to hate on Shedeur Sanders, but I hate his Rabbit fans. If you don't want the kid judged so harshly, don't hold him up like he's the second coming of Brady. MJ. They're still looking for the gunman. Damn, you would think it would be on camera somewhere, right? They got to have a picture. Like, is there anywhere that's not on camera? Like, you could come to my house and it's not on camera, I think. I don't know. They might have cameras over there if they go far enough. The neighbors over there might have cameras. I never needed cameras. I always had 200 pounds of dogs, you know. Someone broke into Shedeur's house and stole $200,000. Wasn't me. In related news, I'm retired, but I didn't take the $200,000. Vincent says the problem with ugly Christmas sweaters is you never buy one yourself. Yeah. Silva says I'm going to have 6 straight hours of hockey I actually care about to watch tonight. Great, because Thanksgiving break starts tomorrow. Mug of hot cocoa and hockey. What could go wrong? Don't spill the hot cocoa on your hand or something, and then you're burnt, and then you're on vacation for Thanksgiving, and you can't use your laptop or your phone because your hand's all wrapped up. Don't burn yourself with the hot cocoa, Silva. What could go wrong? Don't ever ask that question. Don't ever say hot cocoa, what could go wrong in the same sentence. No. You need to rebuke that energy right now, Silva. Hey, JC. Craig says it'll be a travesty if you don't have the Winter Classic jersey on Christmas morning now. Right? You had a camera for your old house, MJ? Hey, Great White. How you doing, buddy? You'd make a horrible criminal. All right, MJ. Appreciate that, bud. So Hungry says, who would be a worse mentor? Dion, AB, Tyrell Owens, or Michael Vick? All right, we're going to take Dion and put that over here because Dion is not in the category with AB and Vick. We'll leave Tyrell over there too. It's Vick or AB. AB. Now, and you know I'm a dog lover. What Vic did was reprehensible, right? But as far as his public image, it appears as though he's paid for his things and rehabilitated his image somewhat. But AB is just straight up Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs. Like AB I think he's over here. You know what I mean? Where there's bad dudes, stupid dudes, moronic dudes, and then there's AB. Silva says, I would not be rebuking the energy. Bring it on. Oh, no. Oh, and away from the Panthers. No, Silva, no. If Silva never shows up again on a stream, it was a hot cocoa accident. We just know it now. Hey, Ryan, go Devils tonight. That's okay. Jake, at least they didn't kill all the dogs. You mean with the Mike Vick thing, they rescued the dogs? Is that what you're meaning? I'm not going to pretend that I know the whole story. I know what he was accused of doing, but when it came to reading the stories, I couldn't read anymore. Jake says they just used to euthanize dogs that were rescued from dog fighting circles. Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I have a hard time reading about stuff like that. So when it happened, I knew what he was accused of doing, but when it came to reading in depth, I couldn't. It was too much for me. But I appreciate what you're saying. Holy crap! Thank you, Great White. Thank you, bud. Thank you, Great White. Thank you, brother. Just I love the Grandpa Panther. That's the name of the jersey for the Winter Classic. It looks great. That's the name of the jersey, like the Kachina and what's the one that the Robo Penguin, right? Right. So that's the Grandpa Panther. It's that we need to put they need to put a Santa Claus beard and a hat on them. Jake says they would say they were too aggressive, but this organization proved that they can be rehabbed. Well, that's good. That's a cool part to the story. Yeah. That's yeah, and sure, dogs can be. I mean, my Akita, he didn't go through anything like that. But my Akita, we got him from animal control. And he'd been there like 6 months. They said he'd been roaming the streets for a long time. And he had a lot of behavioral issues. And, it took about 2 months, 6 weeks, 2 months of working with him. But then like one day, he just figured out, oh, I'm safe. And he was the best dog he ever hoped for. Lived to be 15 and a half years old. He was a great dog, man. Never gave us one lick of any kind of trouble, never disobeyed, nothing. Hungy says Romanoff will be out for a while, according to Emily Kaplan. Good Lord. Craig, yeah, he needs a cane. What is going on with the injuries this year? Good Lord. Hey, MJ. Hey, buddy. Thank you, MJ. World headlines. Okay. All right. Here we go. Here comes Jaws is going to get the news. Remember, I don't watch the news, so this is all news to me. Let's see. Dick Cheney funeral today. Verizon laying off 115,000 people. Replaced by AI. That's a lot. I mean, holy crap. Cracker Barrel will not be firing the CEO. And, I mean, if she undid what everybody was complaining about, then let her stay. Those decisions don't get made in the bubble. Like the CEO, she didn't just show up and tell everybody this is what we're going to do, and everybody hated it, and she forced them to do it. There's a general direction companies want to go in. So, I stopped going to Cracker Barrel a long time ago because I don't want to spend that kind of money on food. But when I went, we had a good time. GE is moving production of appliances from China to Kentucky. That's good. Now, would it be insensitive to say to Verizon people could go work making appliances in Kentucky? I'm just saying. That's one thing of bad news, one thing of good news. MJ says, my name is not in the Epstein file. Oh, did they release them? I seen something where they said I guess they passed the bill. They were going to release them, but did it come out? Because I'm surprised the world hasn't. I don't notice anything different out my window. 115,000 people. Good Lord, what happened? Ryan says, at least the Devils have a 13-5-1 with 1 point behind the Hurricanes, while the Panthers are 10-8-1. Yeah, it's rough on us right now, Ryan. You know, it is. We'll be okay. We will take solace with our 2 cups. Dave says, almost all dogs can be rehabbed, but there are humans like, right, that can never be cured. Well, that's true. I'm getting the news, MJ. It's AI related with Verizon. It's probably going to be customer service, isn't it? And I have Verizon. My phone carrier is Verizon. I've never had to contact customer service, though. JC says, Winter Classic tickets are crazy. I didn't mean to do that, but we'll leave that there. Section 306, nosebleeds, 14 row, 280. At that point, you're watching ants and can't see the pucks. Jeez. That's a shame. 280. So that's like if you want to take your wife and kids, that's by the time you pay for parking and food, that's like, it's going to be like, in fees, you're looking at $1,300 and $1,400. That's wild, man. Hungry says probably replaced by someone in a call center in Bangladesh. Yeah. World is crazy. Yeah, the Cracker Barrel logo. Look, they moved, if they undid it, if they moved it back to have the dude in the logo. So the files were actually finally released. Did they start dropping nukes as the world ending because those files are out? I know my name's not in it. I know MJ's name's not in it. So we're good there. Hungry. Oh yeah, I see. I mean, I'm not. I've seen a couple interviews with her. I mean, people are what they are these days. I hear you. Oh my God, David. I think I'll skip reading that one. Ryan, Bubba's in net tonight. Bubba Brewski. MJ, yeah, take the people that were working from Verizon and teach them how to make appliances. Silva says the NHL is condensing a 6-month schedule into 5 months and change. Less rest equals more injuries. Excellent point. Excellent point, Silva. I had not thought about that. Yeah, it's a good point. Oh, yeah, so they're supposed to release them within 30 days. I mean, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. I don't care any. Do you really think they're going to release the full things? Like if there's anybody important's name in there, you really think they're going to cherry pick a couple of people to throw under the bus? But do you really think they're going to put all the names out there? You know what I mean? They're going to cherry pick a few names to make people say, "Oh my God, it was these people and that people," and I have zero confidence, negative confidence, that we would ever actually see all of the names. MJ says, I have Xfinity and I'm pretty sure I spoke to a robot over the phone. So, MJ, are we going to be in Florida the week of the Winter Classic? No. Unless it starts raining silver dollars over my house, probably not. If we go anywhere, like I said yesterday, my parents are renewing their vows for their 50th anniversary in February on Valentine's Day. That's when they got married. My dad said, hey, why don't you and Donna get married at the same time? If we're going to be able to pull off any kind of a trip, that's when it's going to be. David says the cheapest Rush tickets at Hard Rock are $600. They're in their 70s at this point, right, Rush? Ghost Air says, so in other words, it's buy a jersey or watch ants with a nosebleed jersey. Yeah, jersey, please. Right? Jake says the files are so scrubbed. Yeah, they gotta be, you know. So it says files, in fact, not released, just some emails released implying Trump gave Bill Clinton. Oh my God. Oh. Survive says, do I think Tarasov starts on Saturday or Monday? That's a good question. Let's go to, so we've got the Devils today at 7. God, it's after 1 already. We got the Devils today. Then we got the Oilers on Saturday. I would suspect that we'll see Tarasov in that road game. Yeah, I would think that we're going to see Bubba today against the Devils and Oilers. I can't imagine they're going to throw Tarasov out there against Edmonton. And then you'd see Tarasov against the Preds. And then if you give Bob 3 more starts, Flyers, Flames, Leafs, then you throw Tarasov out there against the Preds again on the 4th. And then you give Bob the Jackets and Islanders, throw Tarasov out there against the Mammoth so that Bob can play against the Avalanche, Stars, and Lightning before we come back home. Those are your instructions, Maurice. So you know now that I've said it, you can guarantee somebody at the Panthers is watching this stream, giving notes to Maurice, and he's looking at it going, damn it, that's what I was going to do. Now I got to change it just to piss Jaws off. So it is what it is. I'm used to it. Hey, Frank. Frank says, the more you look at the Winter Classic jersey, the more you love it. That's because you're drunk, Frank. It's because you're drinking in the middle of the day. That's the problem there, bud. Alessia, you going to the Winter Classic? Oh, good for you. Fantastic. Yeah, good point about the injuries, but it doesn't affect E2 burning himself. Oh, here's another one. Hey, thank you, MJ. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, MJ. So let's see. He says, so here's one. So we all know the Cats winter jersey is meh. There's some people that like it, but we agree. We agree, MJ. So which past Winter Classic team's jersey is my favorite? You'll go first, the Blackhawks one. I'm going to have to look and see. I got to see some pictures. Jersey history. Let's see. Let's look at some images here. I'm looking at one that's the Nashville Preds. That's pretty decent. Oh, the Pittsburgh ones. But I'm a sucker for black and gold. Hold on. Let me share the page. Hold on. Good question, MJ. Okay, here we go. So there's the St. Louis. That's the Blackhawk one. Is that for the 25 one? Yeah. That's an older Penguins one. This one I like for sure. Over here, the black and gold. Like this one here. Yeah. But I always like those colors. I always, like I've told you guys that before, like the old Pittsburgh Pirates uniforms and all of that. Trying to see if there's anything else. That's ugly. The Canadians one is definitely ugly. Oh God. I mean, he looks like he's sick and dying, the Panther. He just doesn't fit. He just looks like he's, oh, help me. I can't help it. His mouth is like, wait a minute. You know what else is missing? No, there's teeth. His teeth are there. Yeah, his teeth are there. It looked for a second like his teeth were missing. Like from a distance in there, you can't even see his teeth. So this one, now the Nashville Preds one is pretty simple. That's pretty slick. And there's actually a YouTube video, Winter Classic Hockey Jerseys Ranked. But yeah, of the ones I'm seeing here, that one. I like that. That's pretty cool. Very simple. I like that. All right, come back to the chat. Dave says that's super cool idea to get married. Then, and yeah, and only 2 out of 3 Rush members are alive. I see. Frank says the St. Louis Blues won. The Ducks and Kings. Thank you, Miss Jaws. I don't even know how she did that. Huh. Hungry says the team has a really good chance to build off the rest of the year. We have 18 out of 25 games at home. Yeah, exactly, Hungry. That's when, if we can take advantage of this home stand, these home games, and be in a playoff spot before Kachuk comes back, we're in good shape. Hey, I see another super chat here. Hold on, I got to scroll down. Hey, thank you, Alechka. Thank you. Much appreciated. Thank you. She says, let's win this tonight. Thanks for all your hard work, Jaws. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Outstanding. Yeah, the Bruins was good. Yeah, the Vegas was awful, Hungry. I'll agree with that one. The Preds one's not your favorite. SoFlo says the Blue Jackets have the best Winter Classic jersey of all time, bar none. All right, David. Matthew says, I read Kachuk could come back the week before Christmas. So I had been thinking the 27th. I had been thinking the Lightning game against the 27th. But maybe they want to get him on the ice for a couple of games before and then see how his body feels. So maybe December 20th against the Blues. And then we play the Hurricanes, and then we got a bunch of days off before we play the Lightning. Maybe the 20th, right? If he's on the ice today, a month from now would be the 20th. So maybe that we've got it back-to-back here, 1920, right? So my assumption would be they're not going to put him in to start a back-to-back. Maybe put him in the second game of the back-to-back. Give us a little bit of juice there. And then he's got 2 days off in a game and then 3 days off in a game. That might be the way it works. Miss Shaw says the worst jersey has to be this one. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You know, I understand what they were going for. I think that they would have I think it would have been a little bit better received had they explained, and maybe they didn't, I missed it, but had they, because maybe if they would have done like an explanation during the little video where they were showing it to us, like showing, this is the patch and this is what we were going for because of the Tropical Hockey League. Like if they would have made a little video comparing the other teams' the logos and the look that they were going for with what they actually did. And so I understand that they were trying to make it look, I guess what they said was the owner said, make it look like our logo, what would be from the 1920s, which I'm not even going to pretend to say that I would know how that would go. Like, I'm not artistically inclined that way. It's just the wrinkles just do something to it. You can't, what did she say? I can't unsee Jaws comparing it to the house falling on the witch, the socks. That was my first thought. But that's because that was my favorite movie when I was a kid. Alechka says, I'm not hating the jersey, but they should make the Panther more beefy. Yeah, something about the wrinkles, but it is what it is. It's all right. MJ says, personally, I would say the Leafs one was the worst. It was barely anything. Just copying the regular season jersey. Not necessary says, I agree the Detroit jersey was by far my favorite. Right. Real says, I'd prefer navy pants. I just want to see somebody walking. I want to see somebody come to the game, not a player. I want to see a fan come to the game in the Hall getup, not just the jersey. You got to wear the pants too. if you can get a fan to the game on camera wearing the jersey and the pants, I will change my perception of the cat. I want to see that. I want to see somebody wear those pants in real life. David said Saja had ligament tears, so he can pretty much continue to keep legs strong. Just have to watch the knee. You're shaving. Who's shaving their head? Who's that? Jameson, you're shaving your head right now? I got to shave too. This is like 2 days of growth. Like, you can't see it on top. It's there. It's just not the same. That's like 2 days. Yeah. Oleshka says the Rangers don't deserve anything. In fact, JT Miller deserves to be undressed out there. Not sure I want to see that. Craig says the pants and the gloves. Yeah. MJ, you could never shave your head? No way. Never say never, brother. Never say never. You never know, man. You never know. One day it starts falling out, and it just depends on how it falls out. Jameson says every week on Thursday I shave my head and listen to the live stream. Nice. Oh, let's go. Oh yeah, I've seen that. I've seen his defensive play. I know, especially from the captain. It's awful. Your dad had male pattern baldness. If it depends on how you go bald. So, like, unfortunately, I'm patchy bald. So, like, I couldn't just like keep a decent head of hair and just, do the widow's peak and put it back and all of that. It's like it'll be like, it's like thick here and like dead here and dead here, and then thick here and then a dead spot and it's like patchy. It's awful. It's horrible. So it says, just imagine as a practical joke, Jaws goes to a game in full Panthers gear in a Bennett jersey. If anyone asks for proof that he's Bennett, just take off the helmet. I'd have to color this red. I just have to color this red. That would be a pain in the ass. I'd have to cut it real short and then color it bright red. David, you've shaved your head since the 20s. You're SAF bald. MJ, you think you look terrible being bald? Well, then that's when you gotta do this. You gotta have some kind of facial hair to balance it out. Just don't be like the guys that shave it and then shave all this clean. It's like you gotta have a contrast. My mom likes bald. My dad is, he's completely bald up here, but he's long on the sides. My mom likes it. She likes it. Yeah, MJ, get one of the fake beards. I should go to a Bruins game wearing a Marchand jersey. That's not a bad idea if I could ever get up there. So, all right, everybody, I got to roll. I got Kyle up early to get to the gym. So I want to get him to the gym because I make good on if I get him up early, I gotta make good on what I said. Oh, you tried mutton chops? I used to too, MJ. I used to have the mutton chops, and I had mustache and mutton chops. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you, MJ. So, all right, everybody, love you all. Thank you all very much for all of the support. The members stream today. Game starts at 7, so the members stream will start at 6:15, and then Kyle picks it up at 7, and then we'll see you tonight. And then what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday, right? So regular noon stream, and probably going to be popping on to have a couple extra streams here too in the evening. Try to get some games in. So, all right, everybody, appreciate y'all. Go enjoy the rest of your day. We shall see you in about 5 hours.